So today I'm doing a review on some seat covers for my 2004 Nissan Xterra. Now these are from Amazon for 38 bucks. This is the FH Group Deluxe Comfort Premium Fabric Bucket Seat Covers. Now this is not a sponsored video or anything. I spent my hard-earned 38 bucks on these. And I will say that in my general experience, universal style seat covers generally fit kind of like throwing a trash bag over the seat, and they usually don't ever look good. That being said, if you go with like Cover King or some of the other high-end brands that are custom fit to the actual seat, you know, the covers will fit nice and tight over the contours of the seat, but you're going to spend $250 just for the front seats on a 2004 Nissan Xterra. And frankly, for an old vehicle that sees a lot of trail use and everything, I'm just not interested in spending $250 on something arbitrary like seat covers. So my main goals here are really just that my seats are old. They got stains in them. I'm like the third owner of this vehicle. It's had a lot of stains and damage to the seats and stuff. They kind of smell funny. I've tried cleaning them. I've tried shampooing them. They just look bad. So I figure if these that got decent reviews on Amazon could be installed, they call them not universal fit but semi-custom. So if you look on the package, it says bucket seat with a detachable headrest, which is what a Nissan Xterra is. It is not for non-detachable headrests. It is not for built-in seat belts. And so the Nissan Xterra, the seat belt is actually on kind of the B pillar on the side of the wall of the vehicle. So this should kind of generally fit in the vicinity of, the general shape and size of the seat is what I'm hoping. And I figure for 38 bucks, if it doesn't fit that great, no big deal. So when I take a look at this and unfold it, the mesh section actually feels pretty high quality. It feels pretty thick and it has some good padding behind it. I'm trying to show a section. You can kind of see on the back side here, but this looks like several millimeters of padding in the mesh. That should be good for driving out on the beach and those hot days on the trail. The sections that are just kind of a black fabric, it's kind of a black elastic kind of stretchy fabric. It's not as thin as I would have thought that it was. I've had some that were just kind of generic from AutoZone. Now kind of the edges where they stretch around the edges, those are very see-through actually, but you can see the extra padding is really all over the seat. So hopefully this will give it a little extra padding and some breathability when I'm driving out on the beach and, like I said, on hot days on the trails. Now of course the big challenge is going to be to install these and make them not look like you just threw a trash bag over your vehicle on the seat. So they come with a number of straps. They have a little bag of some clips, so I'm assuming the more effort you put into installing these and really cinching down the straps and finding good locations to fasten them to, I'm assuming that you could get at least a decent fit. But we'll wait until they're installed to try and determine that. So these seats didn't really come with actual instructions, but it does have a little flyer that referenced some YouTube videos. I'm making a YouTube video and I'm completely winging it, so we'll just see how they turn out here. So there is a little fabric pocket on the back, since you would be covering up the pocket on the seats. I'm not that impressed by the, say, strength of this pocket here. It might be able to hold like a little children's book or something, but I actually keep a 4-sided tire iron in the stock seat in the back of that cover, but that's not going to work here. So they're plenty stretchy. Now the material on the back side isn't really that thick, so like this mesh part feels pretty high quality, and I'd say the side bolsters feel decent, but definitely the stretchy parts on the back aren't that impressive, so be careful stretching it out. I'm going to go through the back seat to try and get a better angle at this. Takes a little bit to get it smoothly in between where the armrest is, but not too bad. So at the crease at the base of the seat, there's some straps, and I believe that these are going to snake through in between the cushions and out the back. So we'll just try and snake those straps through. Yeah, so these straps that are on the back side of the seat, you just fish them underneath the actual seat cushion, and you look for the little buckles here. So like I said, they're like a backpack strap. Stick them through. And the nice thing about the way that they're routed is when you cinch them down tighter, it actually pulls the corner of the seat deeper into the groove, so it actually makes it fit tighter the more you pull on it. Oh, come on. There we go. Also, just a note, to get these straps to fish underneath the seat, I did find it easier to slide the seat all the way in the forward position first, so you can kind of reach further towards the front of the vehicle, and then get the straps as far as you can, and then slide the seat all the way to the back. That way you don't have to go as far underneath the seat with your arms. So as I'm cinching these down more, it's actually pulling this edge forward and this edge backward, so it's actually making it fit pretty tight on the bottom seat cushion. That's pretty good as far as my experience with universal style seat covers. So as far as seat controls, it does have a nice arch cut here, so you can adjust the seat back, so that's still accessible. But this will cover up if you have these lumbar dials. I have them. I don't think I've touched them in probably 4 years or so. So it doesn't really bother me. I'll just cover them up. If you really wanted to keep those accessible, hell, you can probably just adjust them through the actual cover if you really wanted to. Or you could try removing the knobs, cutting a small hole in it, and having the cover go around. I'm not going to bother with that though. There are these little bungee cables on either side, these little elastic, and with those little metal clips that were in the little Ziploc baggie, I'm going to try and fish those underneath and kind of keep it tight on the sides. Little pro tip here, before you cinch down these front to back straps, go ahead and do the bungees on the side, and I'm actually going to put the clips on the armrest side because I think they'll be harder to get to, and so that way hopefully I can kind of dangle the strap through the gap that seems to swallow all sorts of wallets and cell phones and other items. So here's a good look at the front bungee here. I got those hooks latched into each other. I don't want to pull it much more tight than that. It did take a little bit of reaching under there, and of course you can see how dirty my truck carpet is. Not the cleanest of jobs, but you can tell that those clips really do help it stay snug along the sides of the side bolsters. So here's the seat cover. I got the side-to-side straps buckled in. Now I'm just going to cinch up the front to back straps, and I'm hoping that this will really kind of stretch out and make that look a little bit better. Quick look at the gaps here. Alright, I can tuck this behind the seat lever to tilt the seat forward. That should work well. You can see on the front edge I still have access to the slider. But you do got to look out, since I do have those bungee cords, not to slide it all the way forward, because you don't want to rip the bungees or rip the seat cover when it gets caught on the front leg. So the headrest cover, it just slides on. There is a thin side, which is the back side, and then there's the padded side. You can feel the difference. And there are 4 straps. These are just little elastic straps. They don't have a circle or a hook or anything on it, but there are 4 of them. So you just need to make sure that you get the seat cover or the headrest cover centered so that they're directly opposite of each other. And I'm just going to tie it in a nice tight knot, double knot it, try and keep it more fitted around the edges, and then tuck it up underneath. So there is a strip that's attached to the front edge of the seat cover, and that is Velcro. I think this is just to prevent it from sticking to itself. So what I'm going to do is try and tuck this in nice and tight, kind of through the middle. Then kind of Velcro it around to seal up any gaps. So the passenger side installation is the exact same. Of course, on the stock seats, you have the pocket here, which you didn't have on the back of the driver's seat. But you do get these, cheap flimsy pockets that are there. The other sad part is the pocket right here on the side of the passenger seat. I actually use that a lot to store my maps of the Uwharrie National Forest. So I'll have to, put those in the glove box or whatever. That'll be covered up with seat covers. Not a huge deal, but just something else to consider. The fitment, I'd say it's tight enough. I mean, you can see some wrinkles here, but for a universal style, or as they call it, semi-custom fit, I'd say it's pretty good on the backside here. It's pretty snug in the shoulder area. The headrest, it fits good enough. So reviewing the fitment of the front of the seat, there is a little bit of poof going on right here, but overall it's fine, right? Once you sit in the seat, you're not even going to notice it, but it's tight enough that it doesn't look super loosey-goosey. The butt seat is actually quite a bit more fitted than what I've seen in the past in my experience with fitted seat covers. The straps did a good job of kind of cinching that into the crease and keeping it tight on the front edge. The straps that go left to right actually did a pretty good job of keeping the bolsters tight. And so yeah, there's a little bit of bunching here and stuff, but I think for the most part, for a $38 seat cover, it fits good enough that I don't feel bad that I didn't get a $250 seat cover. And as I mentioned before, with observing the quality of the materials, you know, the actual part that you're making contact with, so these bolsters here, it does got some good padding on it. The foam and the mesh feel pretty good. The underside and the backside is like really thin. Kind of think like a cheap Halloween costume, like if you're the Grim Reaper, you know, the Scream dude running around. That's probably a pretty close description of what the material actually is. So that's kind of the overview of these FH Group mesh seat covers. I only got the front bucket seats. I did not get the rear, and the specific reason why I did not get the rear seat covers for the Nissan Xterra is because the rear seat back, it is a 50-50 split. I fold them down a lot. And I also put gear and stuff in the back seats, and I also remove the cushions frequently from time to time if I need to lay the back seats all the way down. The other thing that I was concerned about is that the seat backs themselves actually have a built-in headrest. It's not like a detachable headrest. So that means that I would have to have a more custom fitted type seat cover, or I would just have to have kind of like one of those pet style seat covers that you just kind of drape down and it's not really fitted at all. So I decided to just go for the bucket seats, just because that's where the majority of the people ever end up riding in my truck. I don't carry around a whole lot of, you know, friends or other people or whatever. I will say that the material, you know, in some cases it's pretty thin. That's what you would expect for a $38 seat cover. So for an old vehicle that I'm just kind of looking to spruce up the seats that are already worn out and dirty, I think that these are a great thing. If I had a $35,000 truck and I was trying to actually protect the stock seats and protect my investment, I would not recommend these. I would get something more durable that's like a neoprene, or Cover King makes like a Cordura ballistic material seat cover that's supposed to be very durable. I would go with something for that. But for like an old truck that just sees some trail use and I'm just trying to spruce it up a little bit, it's definitely worth the $38. So all in all, for a cheaper universal semi-custom fit seat cover, I think it's a great value, fits good enough, and they seem comfortable, and it seems like it'll hold up. And if it doesn't, well, it's 38 bucks. What'd you expect? So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content of these videos. Comment below if you have other questions or suggestions for future videos.